top role-playing podcast made for people who call an unmodified 20 a dirty 20.
Filthy, disgusting 20. But yeah,
Putrid 20.
Get him out of here. We don't want him.
Slutty 20.
I go like New York with that? I was like, get him out of here.
I
don't know what that is.
Look who you're fucking asking.
Knows? I would say, who knows what my voice does? Half time, I don't even. It's whatever.
And I wouldn't be able to recognize one accent to another. Unless it's like very much on the nose, unless it's very much okay. So yeah, that sounds like a cartoon character.
I'm so bad. Yeah, I'm like, oh, it's European. Sometimes I get Australian, right? Or like, that's about it. That's my segments. That's
that was fascinating. So how have you been? This feels like ages since we chatted.
Right? Time zones are a bitch. That time change got us both last week. But thank God for Mistress.
Yeah, Mistress Winter.
Yeah.
Not only did she like jump on like with moments to fucking spare to help,
right?
She had to put up with me fucking dying, my internet connection being all over the fucking place, and she just handled it like a champ. It was like,
I love it.
See, that's when we get professionals in. That's what they do.
Exactly. And we are not that.
We are not professional.
No,
we are just
not even slightly.
No, we're just shit.
Yeah, but we're fun shit.
We're fun shit. I like to think we're fun shit.
Yeah,
I like to think we're. Yeah, no, it's maybe if there was a crit award category for funniest shit.
Yep.
I think we'd be up there.
I think we'd be up there.
I think realistically, we'd be in with a chance.
You know what I really want to do this summer? Speaking of summer, because like, how have I been? I've been good, but like, I'm coming out of my hibernation phase, so I'm doing a lot outside of the house now because it's as you can tell, sunshine. It's wonderful, right? Yeah, I want to make like a bunch of dice piñatas and fill them with dice.
Okay, I like it. I like the idea.
And just have like a party or at one of the games, like every time a player hits a nat 20, they get to whack at the piñata. And, I mean, there's really no point in doing it. I just want to do it.
No, I mean, I like it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's a good idea.
When's the last time someone
you got to be careful. Got to be careful to do it like over like a carpet as opposed to on a tile floor, because those fuckers will bounce. There'd be nothing worse than breaking open a dice piñata and losing all the fucking dice.
No carpet in my house. None. I have rugs. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know how far the thing is. I have wood, but
ladies and gentlemen, Atlas is showing us her rug.
Yes. Yeah. And my wood. Yeah.
Her wood and her rug. That's for our $5 and above tier.
Yes. Yes, it is. Anyways. But yeah, I've been good. I've been good. How have you been?
I've been really good. I've been fantastic.
You went on vacation.
I was, and it was very much needed. It was a good disconnect. Found somewhere that I fell in love with. It was.
I love that feeling.
Whitby. If I want to run a Vampire the Masquerade LARP in Whitby.
Yes. Oh my God. I don't. Here's the problem. I know that I could get into LARPing. The problem would be one of two things. I either couldn't take myself seriously, so I'd be giggling the whole time, or I'd get so into it and take myself so seriously that I'd be giggling at myself the whole time. Like, no matter what, I'm going to be giggling. So
my problem would be with LARPing that I would be uncomfortable, so I would not take anybody seriously, because that's my defense mechanism. The moment I'm uncomfortable, the jokes start coming out.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
And yeah, if I was LARPing, I wouldn't last. They would kick me out.
Have you ever done LARPing? Like, have you ever?
Oh, never done LARPing.
I don't think. I mean, I've done theater, but I don't think that counts. I mean, it could technically it's the same thing. It really is.
I'd say it's related. I think LARPing obviously a lot more improv based,
right? Yeah,
but yeah, I think it could be sort of related, but
I've done like I used to write role play, like the text based role playing.
Mm.
I used to do that, and I was actually rereading some of my old works the other day, and I was like, oh god, I was good, and I was smooth, and I'm like, yeah, because I had time to think about my response. You put me in like a live action situation, and let's just say like, please nobody flirt with me. I'm so bad at it. I'm so bad at it. It's not even funny. Like I actually had a game where a player was flirting with me directly. Like that was part of the scripted storyline. We knew it was
Hmm.
coming. Me as a character and player just shut down. It was like uh, um it was so bad. It was bad. It was just I can't flirt. It's awful.
I mean,
Oh.
the thing is, I don't know if I can flirt or not. I don't. I've never
Ask your
actually.
lovely partner. Ask her.
I
Like,
don't
can
think.
I
I
flirt?
don't think we flirted. I just think we both went. You? Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. And that was it. That was basically our entire courtship right there. It was just
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing
yeah,
wrong with that. I
yeah.
don't
So
think I've never intentionally gone out to get anybody. It's either been like friends or accidental. I don't know, but I definitely can't do it in game. Definitely can't do it in game, which should be the safe place where I can. But no. That's why I
I
was so
mean,
disappointed in the thirsty sword lesbians because I wanted it to be thirsty swords, not
you can make the game work. If people take D&D and bastardize it beyond all fucking recognition, I'm
uh-huh.
sure you can make a slight change to thirsty
I'm
sword lesbians.
No, I know, but everybody else in the game would be playing it to flirt and not me. And then I'd be awkward because I'd be like, hey guys, I'm gonna go sharpen my sword.
It's role playing. It
Yeah.
is role playing. I mean, I suppose when I was in the service trade, I think there was an element of flirting to that because
Oh yeah.
you know, Papa needs some tips.
Uh-huh.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I think I kind of managed to lay it on pretty thick.
When I'm oh god, I was part of a what is it when you get food, but it's like at a party, like at a wedding. What is that called?
Buffet,
Nope. Yes, but it's where like
catering.
yes. Okay,
I
so I
went
did catering.
American. I went
You
catering.
did. You did
Oh yeah,
catering?
catering for fuck's sake.
I used to be a waitress for a catering company, and there was no need to flirt because everybody was already smashed face drunk by the
Hmm.
time they got to the reception. So, like, the amount of beer stains I had on my uniform, I was just like so disappointed, but at the same time, it was good money. So, like,
Yeah, I mean, I used to make quite good tips. I mean, I can
no,
turn on the charm when I need to.
I can't.
Oh yeah, I can.
It's
I mean, my customer service was always spot on because I could just go,
That's fantastic.
and all of a sudden, I'm the most charming person in the world, and so yeah, I used to get a good amount of tips.
Oh, okay. All right. We have to find some way to use
I'm
that at some point.
I'm a sleazy bastard. That's why.
Speaking of being a sleazy bastard, did you do any playing lately? That's a
I
horrible
did.
segue.
We got back into Delta Green,
Mm.
which was phenomenal.
Why was it phenomenal?
Because it shifted gears very fucking quickly.
Like storyline?
Yep.
Oh, what
Like
happened?
the beauty of Delta Green is their operations are not linear. They're not basically this happens and then this happens and then this. You just get given information.
Mm.
So Impossible Landscapes has so many things and so many rabbit holes to kind of go down and eventually end up in the same place. But
Okay.
they got into a position where they nearly died.
Oh shit.
Two of
From
them.
what? Like from what? How'd they nearly die?
They
I'm
were
invested, John. I'm
they were
invested.
okay, so they were investigating. I'm trying to do it without spoilers
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
because I know a lot of people want to play this, so I've got to be
Mm,
very careful.
okay.
They went and investigated someone without realizing just how deep this person was connected to the unnatural. And shit went south from there. So they got attacked by a device of some sorts, which nearly killed two of them.
Oh.
So the two that were still standing managed to get them out, and in order to help them, they went to the only place they could think of, which just happened to be the place that they were investigating, which is now like dumped them in the world of the unnatural beyond any sort of recognition.
So they're just stuck there. That's how the game ends. They're in the world of like
They're in another place. They don't
oh
exactly
shit.
know the logistics of it,
Okay.
but we're gonna kind of go from there.
Okay.
But they skipped so much to get to that point. There
Oh.
is so much that they didn't uncover.
So they're fucked. Like
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, they're fucked
okay.
regardless.
Yeah.
They are fucked
Now
regardless, and
you're
it's
GMing
fantastic.
this, right?
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
And I love GM in Delta Green. It is so much fun.
I know it's your game. It's your game.
One of them. I'm definitely going down the rabbit hole in Savage Worlds.
Oh.
It's fucking clicked.
Ah, good, good. I love Savage. I know that there's like a lot of mechanics that can kind of get a little like I don't want to say clunky, but there's some like okay working rounds. But like it's so good. Every Savage game I've played in, I want more. I haven't GM'd it yet, but playing in Savage Worlds is so fun. I love it. It's always been good.
I like it. I'm at the point now where it is clicked,
Mm-hmm.
where even if I don't know a rule, I kind of see the design philosophy
Yeah.
behind it,
Yeah.
and I'm able to wing something
Yep.
and pretty much get it right.
Yeah.
Which is we were talking about this in the Traveler's Chalice. When a system just clicks with you,
Yep.
like for example, PBTA does not click with me.
Mm-hmm.
I understand it. I know the rules,
Yeah.
but it just doesn't quite. I can't make judgment calls
Mm-hmm.
and be on the money as I am
Yeah.
with Pathfinder or with Savage Worlds or Delta Green or Blades in the Dark.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
so I'm at that point now.
I feel like I struggled with certain mechanics of Household for a while like that, where I was kind of like I was learning the system, I was reading it, and I was like, okay, I get it, but I still don't understand this side of things. I don't understand. And then I reread it the second time. That was just after one read through. Second time I read through it, I was like, oh, like got it. Like that's got it. But the first time, I think, to be honest, I was less focused on learning the system because it's written as a history book. Like it's written as a story. So when you're reading it, I'm so invested in what's happening that I was like, oh, there's shit. I wasn't paying attention to
Yeah.
like, oh, whoops.
Just want to say a quick shout out to chat. Hey guys, it's great to see you. There's a question from Connell, and it is, how do I feel about the shake and damage thing? To be honest, I don't mind it. I intend to keep the Benny economy going pretty fluidly. So, you know, if they get shaken, spend a Benny. They'll be getting another one in a minute anyway.
Love the bennies. Bennies are good.
Yeah, so I bought, what did I buy? I bought Savage Pathfinder core rulebook, Savage Pathfinder Advanced Player's Guide. I bought the Fantasy Companion, the Sci-Fi Companion, and I've just got one called Buccaneer.
Okay.
Through Hell or High Water. It's for the previous edition of Suede, but there's a conversion document, and that's because I'm going to be running Skull and Shackles, which is a Pathfinder adventure path.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Fuck Pathfinder. We're going to play a decent game.
No, there you go.
We're going to play an actual role-playing game.
I had just gotten done saying that I would never be able to run this game with my table, and I probably won't. But I was gifted this by someone paying attention to how much I was ranting and raving about it. And I have Bluebeard's Bright. Look how fucking pretty that is.
That's pretty as fuck.
Look how pretty. Like I know we don't usually we show PDFs and stuff, but the PDFs do not do this justice. I don't know if I can do this on a camera, but like, I guess trigger warning for golden and skulls or whatever. But like, look how pretty these are.
They are very, very pretty.
So like, this is my next project. It shouldn't be, but it's gonna be.
No, definitely
play it, but I don't know if anybody wants to play Bluebeard's Bride. Hit me up. It is trigger warning as hell, but I mean, come on, look how pretty. Look how pretty. That's gold shiny stuff. I don't know.
No, I like it. I like that.
So yeah, your Savage Worlds is my Bluebeard because I was all over Household, and then I found Bluebeard. And now I'm actually trying to figure out if I can like have them make babies.
Yeah, I mean, I need to start prepping Savage Worlds because that's what I'm going to be running once
Mm,
Impossible Landscape ends.
yeah.
And we're about halfway through Impossible Landscapes now.
Okay.
So
Oh, so
yeah, I
yeah, you
definitely
need to
need
start.
I need to start getting my arse in gear.
Yeah,
Uh,
we had been on a rotating schedule of 3 GMs for a while.
mm,
And so I played once a month because it was the original, like the home base GM, which is Connell,
yeah.
me and another GM. And it would be basically Connell, me, Connell, the other person, Connell, me, the other person. Very long story short, I'm not gonna get into it. The other person bailed, like just
Mm,
up and vanished without any heads up. So now I have to make a decision if I want to play if I want to GM every other game or like every other 2 games. Um, I was not ready for the story to progress as fast as doing in every other game. So I'm sitting
yeah.
here going, shit, do I need to get a next game started and ready? Or like so so now I'm starting to look a little more seriously at games like, oh God, I need to get my act together. Like I
I
gotta
mean,
have a couple backups ready to go.
you could, yeah, you could always just get something where you can run one shots in,
Maybe, yeah.
just to kind of
Hold me
tide
over.
over
Yeah.
until you get into the swing of things of being able to kind
Yeah.
of run a week or a bi-weekly game, as it were.
Yeah, because
Uh,
it's yeah, it caught us
mm,
off guard. It's like,
mm.
oh, okay.
You'll be fine.
It'll be fine. It'll be
No,
fine.
you will
We'll
be
make it
like
work.
100%. Speaking of bi-weekly games,
Mm.
Couch got back to Fabula. We got back into it.
Yes. Okay, thank God. I miss Couch.
So
How's Couch? Anybody
Couch,
listening? Couch is our other friend that abandoned us. No, I'm kidding. He didn't abandon us. He's got a lovely family with a lovely job.
no,
He's a big
Couch is
kid.
doing really well.
Good.
See him once a week, whether it's for
Good.
Delta Green or Fabula Ultima.
At least he's
So
playing. That's the
yeah,
important
he's
part.
playing and
Good.
he's still running a good Fabula game. It's fantastic.
Good.
So yeah, we kind
Good.
of got back into that. We started a new sort of arc, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Our characters are getting up there in level now, so
Oh.
starting to see what high level Fabula play is kind of like, and it's not too bad. It's all right. It
Oh.
holds up
Okay.
so far.
Good. Good.
So yeah, well, so what else have you been playing then? Because it has been 3 weeks.
It has been 3 weeks. Oh God. I played some mutants and masterminds. I played some level up. Like it's just been I've been trying to play more. Because like there's a big mm, it's a big networking vibe a lot in the community. And I kind of want to get away from that and just play more.
Yeah.
So I've been pushing that. And so we've been playing a lot of games and it's been a lot of fun. I've been trying to get back into doing some like game art. So I'm just trying to really deep dive into being in the game, being in like the hobby itself instead of
No.
networking.
Yeah. I
That sounds
mean,
horrible, but it's just kind of like
no,
okay,
but it is true.
yeah,
It is,
yeah,
and I've kind of taken a bit of a step back from that as
yeah,
well. Like we've got some actual plays that are just kind of still hanging there.
yeah,
Whether we
yeah.
get back to them or not, that's another conversation to be had.
Right,
But
right,
right
yeah,
now, I'm enjoying playing. I'm
yeah.
enjoying running. I'm enjoying prepping. I'm enjoying
Good.
just, getting these ideas and getting excited for stuff without having
That's
to think
yes,
about, putting it out there for somebody. And I don't
yeah.
care
No.
that has become the whole point of it
Mm-hmm.
is I don't really care too
Mm-hmm.
much
Yeah.
about creating a product anymore.
Right. And that's what made me so stupid happy is on my Discord, we do closed door games. Not saying it's closed to the community or the outsiders. It's literally just like there's no recording. It's
Hmm.
not streamed. It's not whatever. It's just okay, we're gonna sit down at a table, close the door. We're playing a game together. And we did that with Mutants and Masterminds. It was really fun. Spoiler alert, I guess, but Crash, Stefan's character, BC's character, made an appearance for this Mutants Masters game. And it was just a whole bunch of people from the Discord that
Hmm.
wanted to play. So Connell threw together a random game and we were all stressed out. And so he's like, okay, we're gonna punch Nazis basically. And he came up with a game for us to just get some stress out, especially with the community or not community, the United States and that
Hmm.
whole whatever.
That
And it was
dumpster
so much
fire that is
fun.
your country.
Yeah, like we didn't have to think about anything. We didn't have to analyze anything. It was just
Hmm.
fun. And it
Yeah.
was that made me kind of sit back a little bit and be like, oof, I've been putting too much thought into things.
Hmm.
Like you said, like I want to get excited about games again. I want to, you know, I want to do things that bring me joy. But no, like stop over analyzing it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you
Yeah.
can put all the funny voices on you want, but it is that.
Yeah.
That is essentially it. We like when I've started getting into the Savage Worlds and made a decision of
Yeah.
kind of going, you know what, Skull and Shackles. I started it once, it fell apart. I'm going to do the adventure path.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use Savage Worlds for it so I can learn the system at the same time.
Mhm.
And that's got me excited again. That's kind of got me, yeah, I want
Yeah.
to GM this. And that's got me in a position of, okay, so if Skull and Shackles works, what about getting like the other
Yeah.
Pathfinder adventure paths that I've got a
Yeah.
fucking ton of?
Yeah. Do it.
And, you know, I might as well.
Yeah. I legit think like going back to getting excited, like there's no it's we're I'm gonna get on a soapbox. There's no fucking rules to how you want to have fun. Like
Hmm.
that's the baseline. Yes, systems have rules, and if you're gonna follow them, blah, 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 you're playing a game. You're playing a game together with friends. If you're gonna do something to have fun with it. I'm literally gonna be combining like old school Dracula with the Bluebeard game with Household. Why? Because I want to, because I'm excited
Yeah.
about a story that popped in my head and it'll be fun. And a couple of friends that I've talked to about it, they're like, holy shit, I want to play that. I'm like, all right, fine, let's play it. Like have
It,
fun with it. You gotta get excited about what you're doing because like that also that leaks into your players. Like your players or who your teammates or the people across the table from you can tell if you're excited about something or not, or whether it's like a okay guys, like I gotta have this perfect. Like I've got the rules memorized, I got my things in gear, which I mean there's nothing wrong with any of those things. I have notes. I keep my notes up to date. I have
hmm.
rules memorized. But like people can tell when you're excited about something or not. People can tell when you're exhausted. Like,
Yeah.
like
And
it's just obvious.
you know, I mean, for me, it's like that with Pathfinder. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still finishing two Pathfinder games. I've got
Mm-hmm.
Abomination Vault, which I've got two more sessions. We're going to get that over the next couple of weeks, and
Yeah.
then we've got to start Kingmaker up. And this time around for Kingmaker, I've got right. Fuck maps, fuck minis.
Have fun with it.
This is how
Yeah.
I'm going to run it,
Yeah.
and I'm just waiting on people to decide whether that's what something they want,
Yep.
or if I, you know, if the game gets
Yeah.
cancelled. But
Exactly. And that's
I'm
how you should.
if I'm running something, I want to run what I want to run. I'm done
Yeah.
running things for other people.
Yeah. And I mean, like, that's one of those things I think that like Connell and I both harp on is that the GM, while yes, has a lot of responsibilities to bring to the table, which there's a whole community like viewpoint of like, oh, GMs shouldn't be doing that. They're just like another player. And that's fine. That's another type of game. But we're talking about this type of game where like the GM has responsibilities of running the game.
Mm.
Um, the GM needs to have fun.
Yeah, of
Like
course.
anybody sitting at the table, like the GM's not a slave, they're not a servant. Like the GM's running a certain story, they're running a certain story.
Yeah, I'm certainly
Um
fucking not.
yeah, no. Oh my gosh, no. And that's I don't know. I'm just been excited to play again. Like oh my god, have we talked since the Black Dragon? Have we talked? Viewers,
We have not.
listeners, we haven't. Oh my god. So our last session of the game that I'm going to be playing tonight, I'm super excited. We fought it was a young, but we fought a young black dragon and it was so much fun because it was like those situations where there's five of us and we're going, okay, a lot of us are really good at not thinking as players, we think as the characters.
Hmm.
So when this black dragon shows up, it's like, oh, we fucked. Because the black dragon was actually kind of like a patron of a goblin horde village that was attacking our town. So it was just one of those things where we're like, oh, we're so fucked. And all of us are so young and so new to our characters. Like, or our characters are new to their powers or their abilities and their skills. Like, it's very much so real life. These teenagers are fighting this dragon. It was so much fun playing a teenager that has no fucking clue what she's doing. She
Hmm.
it's just kind of like, oh no. But that was a lot of fun. And the goblins were fun. And then I also, since we've been gone, geez, we've been gone a long time. What the hell? I ran my game and I am discouraged because the GM who bailed is also a player. So like we're gonna have to, you know. But I was bummed at first because I was kind of like, shit, now I've got to refigure out like an entire plot line that was important to the story. But then I kind of got excited because I was like, oh, like I have space now to rewrite a plot line in the entire
Yeah.
story. So I'm gonna try and twist it into a good opportunity and kind of like a positive, like, okay, how can I put some more seasoning or refreshen this a little bit and get the players input on kind of maybe what they think we should do.
Yeah.
It'll be good. It'll be good. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
But that's been my gaming world right now. I'm excited. It's gonna be good.
No, my
It's
gaming world right now is I'm transferring
good.
from Obsidian to Notion.
Ah, I saw that. I saw something on social media. Yeah, how you
Yeah.
doing that?
Um, I'm getting my head around Notion.
Okay.
Obviously, it's got its similarities,
All right.
and Obsidian is a fantastic tool.
Mm-hmm.
It is absolutely amazing. It really is, and it's got all the bells and whistles and the shit you can do on Obsidian. You cannot do in any other
Yeah.
application, regardless of whether it's a campaign manager or regardless whether it's a note taking thing.
Mm.
It is just fantastic. The problem is, I don't use it.
Oh.
All these things that it can do,
Yeah.
all this. Okay, so you can have an initiative tracker and you can have all your D&D 5e or your Pathfinder stat blocks. And it's like, well, if I'm playing Pathfinder, I'm using Foundry. I've got an initiative tracker. I've got my stat blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I need this? Oh,
Mm.
so then you can
Yeah.
have a map up and you can pinpoint locations on a
Yeah,
map. It's
but if
like,
you're not using
again,
it,
if I'm using Foundry, I've got a map already.
uh,
I can use notes. I don't need that. So
yeah.
the amount of things on Obsidian that I didn't use was it wasn't worth the sacrifices I was making to use Obsidian, which is as a financial thing because
Yeah.
I was paying for Obsidian Sync where I could sync it to many
Mm.
computers,
Yep.
and also the lack of connectivity with it,
Mm.
where it has to be installed on a computer for you to use it. So,
Gotcha.
for example, if I'm elsewhere and I've got a computer which isn't mine, and I'm going, I could jump
Uh,
in and I could update these notes, and I'm not able to do that. I have to do it on my phone, and the phone's a bit shit. So I started looking into Notion, and it was like, well, I I can log in from any computer whatsoever into Notion as it's
yeah.
browser based, and the functionality that it has is what I use anyway. I don't need everything else that Obsidian has to offer.
Right.
So yeah, it just
It's
kind of
like
made
too
more
much bang.
sense.
It's too much bang for your buck, really. Like,
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
yeah.
pretty much. I mean, if I'm running like a full on D&D campaign
Mhm.
and I'm not using a VTT and I'm not
Yeah.
using if I'm not paying for fucking Foundry, if I'm not,
Right. Yeah.
it makes sense that to have this tool which can basically do everything.
Mhm.
Whereas if I'm not doing that, why the fuck pay for it and use a tool which has been proven to be functional.
Yeah. I think I've never used anything other than like theater of the mind, and
Mm,
I will occasionally draw a map out for my players. It's not
mm,
fancy, don't get me wrong, but just so they have a concept. When I say like, oh, the upper right hand corner of the village, most of the time they can just make that up however they want. But if it's like a
yeah,
reoccurring like home location, I make them just a general like, hey, here's the concept.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, no, it's no reason to pay for something if you're not going to use it.
yeah, and
It's simple, like, especially with
and
today's economy.
and don't get me wrong, there's a learning curve to it,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
it is as good as it is because it's got a very vibrant TTRPG developer community.
Yep.
So
That's
what
always
you end up
helpful.
so what you end up doing is you end up having a base application and then all these other add-ons that are meant to work together,
I love add-ons. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a sucker for add-ons.
which are
Like,
great, but then you run the risk of them stopping working.
right. Yeah. I am that I love customization. I don't care what it is. It could be like a game, a system, a
Mm,
character sheet, anything. I love customization. It's a problem. Like that's the thing with like I used to play Sims a lot. I had to uninstall it from my computer because I was spending too much time on it. But I never played the game. I just customize shit. I built houses and neighborhoods and entire like villas and villages and castles. Never played the game. I just customize shit. And now like I'm like I said, my I could just give an example. Like I can't just play household. I should. No, I'm gonna play household and Bluebeard.
You see, I don't customize that much. I'm at an age now where it's like,
Ah,
I want this to do this, and if it doesn't
yeah.
do this, I'll go find something else.
See, and like,
Case in point, I just bought. I said just bought. I bought a while back. I bought like the WWE 2K24 game,
I saw you playing that on Discord. It popped up. I think I was like, what?
and there's a thing like when you start, it's like, oh, you get to create your character. It's like
Yeah.
default. Move on.
No.
I do not have fucking time.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, I love it. Now to be fair, like if it's gonna cause me effort, like, oh, I've got to figure this out how to do it. No, but if it's just like, yeah,
Now
I'm
everything I
basic.
do now is for less effort going on,
Yeah,
like going
that's fair.
forward.
That's
So
fair.
like everything I'm doing building in Notion now, it's a case of, oh, so when I get to this point, I don't have to worry about it. I can
There
just
you go.
move on with my
It
life.
can run on its own.
Yeah, same with Savage Worlds. I'm not gonna fucking use coin and encumbrance and I'm gonna use the wealth rules because
I
it just
don't think
makes
I've
life
ever
so
used
easy.
that. I don't think I've ever used that in any game that I run. Like the whole like, oh, staggered and whatever.
No, I'm
I've
talking
used
about
it
money. I'm talking
in.
about money, money, money,
Well,
money.
no, I know, but like any sort of like realistic measurement, whether it's money, whether it's like health status, whether it's like I didn't use measurements, I use it in that. That's because you kind of have to. Um, like I don't know, money is a thing. Like unless it's far fetched. Don't get me wrong. Like I had a player one time that was like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy like a copy of the Royal Navy's armor so that I can sneak into the castle." And I'm like, "Where the fuck are you gonna get that?" Like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy it." I'm like, with what money? You literally said you've been a peasant for the last 20 years on the back of a ship. Where are you gonna get that money from?
No, I do like the wealth rules for Savage Worlds.
Yeah.
It's an optional rule
Mhm.
where your wealth is tied to a dice.
Mhm. Yep.
So if you're buying something mundane, just don't worry about it. You crack on, buy it.
Exactly. Yeah.
If
Just
you're buying something which is like 10 times your dice,
mhm.
you then have to roll.
Yeah.
If you
I
fail, you
wish real
don't have
life was
enough
like
money.
that.
If you succeed, you buy it, but you reduce your dice.
We need to have that rule for real life.
Yeah, we do.
Why does money exist?
Because it keeps people like new Hitler in power.
Jeez. I was so offended. Someone called him I'm gonna forget it again, but it was like someone called him mango something. Mussolini. Yeah, mango Mussolini. And I'm like, that's offensive. And I realized really quickly that it sounded like I meant it's offensive towards the person. No, it's offensive towards mangoes. I love mangoes. Don't refer to anybody like that to mango. I love mangoes. So yeah.
Yeah, so Connell
But
in the chat's put the mutants and masterminds as an optional system for wealth where you roll to purchase like a skill, which is basically what it is in Savage Worlds.
yep,
You
exactly.
know, you
Like
just add a wealth attribute
I
and just roll
still
on that.
I know like the trendy thing is to do games that where it's like it's all it's all narrative where we're just going to talk about our feelings in a circle and that's fine. I'm totally for that. I like to play a game. I want to roll the dice. Like I bought dice for this game. I want to roll the dice. I'm not saying I have to roll for everything that I do, but like, like that. Like, oh, can you afford it or not? Roll the dice. Cool. Like I like that. It's
Hmm.
fun. I want to have fun.
You see, girls just tend to want to have fun.
Right? Girls just want to have
They did a
fun. I
song
need to
about it, and
I
it's just
see people need to listen, and I apparently need Cindy Lauper hair.
apparently
My
they
hair.
just want to have fun. So
I mean,
no response, you know.
listen. I'd be okay if all I had to do is play games and make art all day.
You know,
Like,
I just want to have fun, but I also want to cause misery to others. So
see, that's John. It's two kinds
I
of
gotta
people in the world.
balance it out. I gotta balance it out.
You know what I just realized I'm trying to figure out is why there's a pair of needleless pliers on my desk. Like we were talking about dice. I looked at my dice thing and there's this right next to him, and I'm like, I don't remember putting these here.
I don't know. I'm just gonna wait for you to figure out why you've got pliers there.
I don't know.
Hmm.
Anyways, dice. I need more dice. I only have like I have a lot of dice. I shouldn't say I need more dice. Are you a dice goblin? Do you like collecting dice, or are you
I
kind of
do.
like
I do. I do.
I
The only
love it.
reason I'm getting any more now is because I don't really have anywhere realistic to put them. But
Yeah.
my main stash is there.
Yes.
I've
Yes.
got I've got a dice caddy with about another 10 sets in. I've also got a bag round at our friend's Chris's where I go play weekly, just because I don't want to carry dice with me. And then
Yep.
I've got my good dice, my cryptic crits dice.
That's the yeah. So I have my
Mm,
cryptid Chris and my Cthulhu dice right here, and my little dragon
mm.
horde. I've got my fairy dice, which you guys see these. Hang on a minute. I use these to play household. They're so fucking pretty. I got two of them that I use. There's these like marble D6s, right?
Okay.
But then these, I don't know if you can see them. They have hollow foil in them.
Oh, they're nice. I like them.
Yeah, yeah. So
They
those are
look
for
sharp
household.
as well.
They are. I like me some
Nice.
sharp dice. Like if I
Mm.
can damage someone with them, I'm buying them. That sounds really
I
bad.
mean,
Maybe I
don't get
should
me
see
wrong.
that.
I love cryptic crits, and if you guys need dice, check out our friend Cryptic Crits. That she's got some
They're coming back up.
amazing.
I would say they were down and out for a little bit. They had some stuff going on in their life,
Mm,
but I think they're opening the shop up again soon
good.
because
So
I
yeah,
need more of their dice.
me too. Me too. The only thing is, it's the postage that's a bit prohibitive for me
Oh
because they're coming
yeah,
from the States.
I didn't think about that.
But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. The ones I got, I'm happy with. I can't buy as many as I would like to buy because
I
you
just
know
realized I think I
I
keep
think it cost me about $20 to get a set of dice here. Mm.
because I bet yeah you don't have like a lot of. All right, so we need to start a fund. We need to start a company fund of like send John dice.
I have that like not to turn my back on cryptic crits, but there is a UK based dice purveyor which
Oh,
I'm looking at going, ha. Huh.
have you ever heard of Crystal Maggie?
No, I haven't. No, I was talking about Jody's Dice Farm.
Oh, Jody's Dice Farm is good too. They do a lot
Mm.
of Vampire the Masquerade like gothic dice.
Yeah.
Really good. Really good. Crystal Maggie does a lot of like legitimate stone dice, like actual stone. Oh, go check them out. Crystal Maggie. They've got their own website. They used to be on Etsy for a while. So good. So like I my one of my friends in Indiana when we used to play D&D there, she bought it was what is that? It's the pink crystal. Rose quartz. A pair of rose quartz dice. They're beautiful. Beautiful. It's yeah, anyways. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm looking
Oh,
at
there you
now.
go. Yep. Yeah. They're so pretty. They're painfully pretty. Like uh I want the ones on the far right. But yeah, they make like metal stone dice, crystal dice, like they've got obviously your basic stuff too.
Hmm.
But it's the sharp edges, they're just good. That's my jam right there. Oh, if you scroll down, you see Dragon Ball Z dice
Whoa.
right there.
Fucking yes.
I should have started with that with you. I should have been like,
Oh, oh,
right? Oh no! Whoops!
whoops. Don't you just hate it when that happens?
Oh no!
I slipped. You saw it. I slipped.
I did.
It's like,
A
oh shit.
total
No.
accident. Yeah, and
It
it
was,
just,
it was a total
the
accident.
internet went out, and then when it came back in, it,
They were in my car.
it's so
I don't
weird.
know how that
I don't
happened.
know
It's
how that
just,
happened either. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to wait until payday though, because but
I
But,
just
yeah.
like can't keep my mouth in my water. Can't keep my mouth in my
you can't keep your mouth in the water. Okay, fair enough.
I need adult supervision.
You certainly fucking need something.
Right? Yeah.
Ah,
No lie. So
design
what's your next game?
next game, I do believe it's going to be Parasand tomorrow, which is Geomistress Winter Pathfinder 2e game.
What are you playing in that game? Like, what's your character?
I'm
I don't think you
playing.
told us.
So basically, class-wise, she is a monk.
Okay.
But she is a monastic archer monk. So she's got all the monk abilities, but it's with a bow and arrow instead.
Oh, we did briefly touch on this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I love that.
very much inspired by the League of Shadows.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'm kind of going off like the CW Arrow version of it, where
Mhm.
yeah, they were bastards, but not, they were slightly sort of
Yep.
redeemable.
Yep.
So she is basically inspired by like Nissa Al Ghul, where she is the incumbent heir to this monastic order, and part of her training is right, go out into the world.
I actually really like that when someone plays a monk and it is the training of like, okay, you're not a master yet. You have to go out and you have to face these trials first. I
Yeah.
tried playing a monk in Pathfinder once and it was awful for multiple reasons.
Hmm.
But I designed a monk like I don't want to say race, but I designed a a monk culture that was desert based, and they were so fucking cool. And I've yet to have a chance to actually play them to their coolness. Um, but it was a similar concept of like they were a desert nomadic monk tribe basically, and their final like okay for you to earn your masters and whatever you have to go out and you have to prove that like
Yeah.
basically you're worth anything.
Yeah.
Not
So
worded that way, but
no, but for my character in this, it's a case of
Mhm.
right, we've taught you how to fight.
Yeah.
We've taught you how to protect. We've taught you how to be a guardian.
Hmm.
But there's so much that we can't teach you. You need
Yeah.
to go out into the world. You need to learn how to basically be a leader. You have to learn
Mhm.
how to interact with people. You've got to learn about the highs and the lows of society, and
I
that
love
she's
that.
on this sort of pilgrimage.
I
Um,
um I love pilgrimage stories or coming of age stories. They're my favorite. I have a soft spot for them. That or
mm,
redemption arcs. I love like old worthless like shitty characters that they're like okay this is my chance to redeem my past arc or
mm,
whatever. Not necessarily angst lords but like you know soldiers with a bad past or something like that. Like my current character she's a warlock, right? But she's not a warlock like, oh, woe is me. She's a warlock as in like I suddenly have these powers and I don't know where they came from.
mm.
Her warlock patron, what's the
Patron.
word? Patron, thank you. Um
Warlock Patreon. At
you
the
pay me and
16
I'll cast your spells.
at the 16 souls and above tier.
Oh, I'm playing a mutant class, which is so much fun because she doesn't actually know who her patron is.
Hmm,
It's like magic in itself is I'm not going to get into the weeds of it,
hmm,
but the point is she's a bastard. Like she's a illegitimate child of the Lord of Rivermill, and she's always been like this sense of duty like no I'm gonna be like I'm gonna take over, I'm gonna be make sure that everything goes accordingly, I'm gonna prove my worth to this town.
hmm,
And this is actually the same story where they killed the black dragon that attacked their town, and these owl knights show up and they're like, oh well we forgot you this town existed, sorry, we'll help protect you from now on,
hmm.
but we need conscripts. Is that the where people leave for like militia reasons? Conscripts, right? Conscribes.
I have no idea. I can't help you with that one.
Whatever. Anyways, and she's like, yeah, and she immediately is like, yeah, I'm gonna go, and it's because she kind of like wants to prove that she's like pay back the town that like took her in, and like I'm worth something, but only for the reason to come back and be like, I did it. So that's kind of I'm kind of combining the whole like coming of age and
Hmm.
like go out into the world, prove yourself story, and then squishing it all into one little piece of. I'm hungry. I say one little piece of cake. I'm like, oh my god, I don't know when the last time I had cake was. I'm really hungry.
So here's a character idea. Now you said about redemption arcs.
Oh no.
How about right someone
Mhm.
who is on a redemption arc, but he's got a lot of redemption arcs. He's like a self-flagellating sort of person
So
who'll
Deadpool.
go, I once didn't return a book to the library on time. I must redeem myself. And then once that's out the way, it's like, I once evaded a parking ticket. And then he has to redeem himself over that as well. And it's just an ongoing, never ending fucking thing.
I actually know someone who would play that character very well.
I think it'd be fun. I
That
think it
would
just
be that'd
just
be
every
hilarious.
every little sort of not good thing that this character has done during the entire
I
sort
didn't
of
tip
thing.
enough one time to that waitress.
That's it. That's his redemption arc. And
Yeah.
Connell's just put it, "My name is Earl." It's like, yes, that's it. You play Earl. So everything is a redemption arc. He
Yeah,
has to redeem himself with
to earn
fucking.
back his whateverness. I'm here for it. His whateverness.
And what it could be, it could be like a paladin whose power, he's lost all his power,
Oh.
and he doesn't know what made him lose it.
Oh.
So he has to redeem himself for every little
Oh
bad thing he's
my
fucking done
god, that would be hilarious.
to get
I
his power
love
back.
that. Okay. I love that. Character
Yeah,
made. I'm for
he's
it.
that's it. He's lost his power. He doesn't know why. So it's just like, okay, right. So this time
I'm
I
so
cheat.
sorry for
I
that. And I'm paying my penance. Oh, wasn't that? Okay, I'm gonna
and
find
he has
something
to,
else.
and he has to redeem it through action. And
Oh god.
what you can do, just leave everything open, and then
Yeah.
just as a player, just every little thing that is put your way in the adventure, you kind of make up a backstory as to how that one time this has got something
Forget
to
a
do with that.
game. I will watch a movie or a show like that. Like that's
I mean,
good.
My Name is Earl is a close.
I haven't seen it. I haven't
It's
seen
good.
it. Is it?
Yeah,
Mm,
it is. It's fun. It just ended kind of really abruptly,
mm, I
which
hate that.
wasn't ideal, but it was fun.
Yeah,
It was a good show, especially when it was
that's
like,
good.
I need to, because what it is, he basically is under the impression that karma is out to get him.
Oh,
So he has to satisfy karma. So he's got a list of 100 things
oh.
he's done wrong, and every episode he's trying to sort of right that wrong. And sometimes it turns out that he's not righting the right wrong, as it were.
That's fantastic. I
It's
love
a
that.
good
That's
show. It is a fun show.
There's a show that I started watching. I didn't finish it. Like if I'm gonna be completely honest, I'm that if I'm gonna spend time sitting down watching something, like it has to get me immediately.
Hmm.
And there's a show I think where someone could see ghosts, and she was trying to like figure out how to have this ghost like find its final piece to send it on its way. So she had to go through like trials to figure out how to put this ghost to rest. It was a cool concept, but I couldn't like. I was like, okay, all right. Like I don't.
Yeah, I'm a bit like that. If I start a show and it doesn't grab, I tried
Yeah.
watching Reacher the other day.
A lot of people like Reacher.
It's shit.
A lot of people like Reacher. I can't say it's shit because I have not had the attention span to watch it. It's been playing in the background a couple of times and like I'm trying to pay attention, but for me it's like I like the concept of it. I like the books it's based off of. Um it's so serious. Yeah, Stefan would be offended. Sam just put in the chat. Stefan would be offended. Stefan's a big Reacher fan.
I don't know what the books are like. I just watched an episode and it was just
It's
like,
it's so dry for me. Like, and here's okay, and here's a big Atlas thing. If I'm going to watch modern day, there has to be something so far fetched that it's not something that I would experience in everyday real
hmm,
life or hear about in the news. Like it's hard for me to watch Law and Order shows. It's hard for me to watch sitcoms,
hmm,
rom coms, anything that's like, oh, modern day life. Haha, this is a unique situation happened. I'm like, okay,
hmm.
like my life is active enough that if your show is more boring than my real life, I'm not going to sit down and watch it.
No, that's fair
So,
enough.
yeah, and that sounds really like bitchy, but I don't know. When I want to be entertained, I want to escape. I want to
Yeah.
experience something I don't normally experience.
Hmm.
I play role playing games. Like I feel like that
No,
should
yeah, I
be
get it.
hello. Like, but yeah, um, yeah. So
No.
slice of life is really hard for me. Really hard.
Yeah, to me, to a certain extent, yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. But then I can always find the absurdity within the mundane.
I try. Like, okay, you're gonna laugh. My girl guilty whatever. What do they call it? Chick flick series that I
Okay,
love. Is Bridget Jones. Bridget Jones Diary.
I watched when I was on holiday. I got watched the last one of them.
Yeah, I love that series. Is it trash? Yeah. Is it good writing? No. Am I absolutely obsessed? Yes. Like I will
I
sit down and watch that no matter what.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not. I am not the target audience for
No.
that movie.
No.
But the last one I watched, it was the latest one that came out.
Yeah,
I didn't mind it. I
it's
thought it was
good.
relatively entertaining. Although she does my fucking head in.
Oh.
The main character is just like, oh, just
Oh, I know. No, she's awful. But I don't know what it is. It's just a comfort series for me. Sam says she's currently rewatching Queen Charlotte. That's a
I
good
have
one.
no idea what that is.
Holy shit. You do. Have you heard of Bridgerton?
Yeah, I've heard of.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the queen in that series. Netflix did a like a smaller series based off the queen when she was younger and how she became queen.
All
Let me
right.
tell you, it's actually really good. Like Bridgerton, but Queen Charlotte, that's good. And it's very good.
Was
Just saying.
Bridgerton the Netflix show, or was that the TTRPG community thing that they did?
Bridgerton was a Netflix show. They did I think
They
that's
did.
Castleton, I think.
That was the one.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
See, I'm not interested in fucking either of them.
To be fair, neither was I. I fell into the Bridgerton hole on accident, and then I quickly climbed out of it. But then Queen Charlotte got me. Queen Charlotte's so good.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to watch Severance season 2 because season 1 was phenomenal.
Why do I know
So,
Severance? What is Severance
but
about?
but anyway, back to tabletop role playing
Oh
games.
yeah,
The thing that we are meant to be talking about.
yeah.
Right, if I don't do this, we're not going to fucking do it. But a couple of weeks ago, when we were last on the show, I put out a question
Oh yeah,
that has
yeah.
been stewing for the past 3 weeks at
It
this
has
point.
been, yeah.
So, okay, so what I asked was, what GM red flags can you think of, and what do you think the best way to address them is? And we got quite a few responses, not as many as the player red flags.
I feel
I
like
think
people
just
are
by
scared to say
virtue
anything.
of there are more players than there are GMs.
I think
Um,
also people might be scared to say anything about their GMs if their GMs are online.
that I wouldn't be.
Potentially.
I wouldn't be. All right, so KOH Coke bottles. It's KOHK bottles.
Oh
I've only just realized that that's what the name is
yeah. Oh
because
my
I was
gosh,
looking
John.
at going, is it Coke or cock? But yeah, it's Coke
Yes.
bottles. Coke
Yes.
bottles. All right.
Uh-huh.
He's got. They've got a few. So can't or won't do basic organizer communication or lifting. They won't set or respect group boundaries. Adversarial to players. Won't listen to player desires. It's my world story railroad shit.
Mm.
Favoritism. I personally find GMPCs distasteful. Ignoring feedback. Demand for character voices. Or pushing players too hard to engage with something or learn the system. I think a lot of those you can
Yes.
get rid of it by just not playing D&D.
Yeah. Well, not even D&D, but don't play with assholes. Like,
Just
don't
get
play
rid
with
of D&D,
assholes.
you get rid of half those fucking problems. All right. World of Wordcraft says inflexibility in general, schedule rules, story, possibilities. Inflexibility, what do you think? Do you think that that is a red flag, or do you think that there is wiggle room? Because
I think it can be a red flag. Um, inflexibility. Yeah, I think that can be a red flag. I think that's one of those balance things. Like a GM should be flexible, but a GM should also be a GM. Like,
yeah.
if you don't want a GM, then don't fucking play a game with GM. There's plenty of GM-less games out there. Go play
And I'm
one.
wondering
Like,
how many players complain about inflexibility just because their GM said no to them.
that's the thing. There's also a big like culture out there of like never tell your players no, and that's fine.
I go, fuck no.
I know we've talked about this. Like that's fine. That's like it's hard for me. It's really hard for me because I feel like every time I kind of want to try something like indie game related, it's like, oh well, don't tell them no. Like work together to figure out a plan. And I'm like, that's not the game I want to play, which is fine. Other people can play that game. Um, but like if the GM tells me no, the GM tells me no, and there's usually a good reason for it. But that's why I say it's a balance thing, because if it's an asshole reason, like, and there's no legitimate reason for the no, then yeah, it's a red flag. If it is a like, well, this is my story and it's going to go the way I want it to go, red flag. If it's a no, because that will be breaking like the scene. Like Again, it's like what I gave earlier. Like if my character is in a wheelchair, okay, and like that's her character, because I've done that actually. I very much so love characters with disabilities because I feel like they should be featured more, but that's another tangent. Um, like she's not gonna suddenly get up and fucking sprint down the thing to catch a bad guy. Like that's my thing.
Yeah.
Is like if the GM says no because it's mechanic
I think
related or story related, like
the no has to be rooted in, there has to be a reason.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
think that's it. There has to be a no because.
yes, exactly.
That is, I think that is the crux of it. It just
Yep,
can't be a no. It's going
because
to
I
be
said so.
no because
Yeah.
this, because these are the reasons why.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so Constant Connell, he's actually added this. He's
Who's that?
actually,
Oh.
I don't know, some random dude. Looks fucking sexy though. I'm just saying.
Don't blow his ego up more than it is.
Gotta blow something. Anyway, um, so yeah, he's put a couple of entries in. So this is the first one. He goes, there are so many. A GM that can't keep a schedule is a big one. We're adults that have to work around our schedules just to be able to attend game in the first place. If the GM cancels excessively, that's blatantly disrespectful to the rest of the table. And then there is blatant and unfair favoritism. It's
Mm,
one thing to focus on a more outgoing player or natural attention between best friends. Not cool when that person is getting preferential treatment and extra power, resources, and spotlight.
yep.
Okay, then we've got Tim's Hermitage. Open
Ah.
communication is the best way to address any issue. A GM who is not open to communicating is a bad GM.
Hmm.
Lack of punctuality, excessive cancellation, lack of planning organization, favoritism, inconsistency and rule interpretation, and doesn't call out and address toxic behavior. Which, yeah, there's, I mean, I can't really fault either of those, whether it's Connell's
So far,
or
all of them, I'm
Tim's
like, yeah,
Hermitage, yeah.
yeah. So far, with every answer, I've been like, yeah, spot on. Those are all red flags.
Flashheart88 says lots of good stuff here. If a GM asks for player input or player preference, then ignores the response, that's a red flag.
Mm-hmm.
GMs that aren't interested in tailoring the game to the preferred playstyles of the players are a red flag to me.
Hmm.
I think, yeah, to a certain degree. I
That's
think to a certain
yeah,
degree, because I think there is part of a social contract where you choose to sit down at a table.
yeah,
And, if the GM goes, okay, this is my existential horror game, why the fuck are you playing this? So, whatever, or something that doesn't fit.
right. Yeah,
It's,
like
you can
if a
tailor
GM
to
says,
a player, but to a certain
yeah,
degree.
yeah. I mean, a perfect example of that is we play Mutants and Masterminds, which is a superhero game. There's guts and gore and violence in superhero
Yeah,
stories, but we have a player on our online table in my Discord who's she's like, I don't do gore well. So you just tone it down. It's not suddenly,
yeah,
oh, we throw a flower at somebody and oh no. It's just
no,
like
no,
you just don't describe, like, be kind and considerate. Be a human being. It's not that, well, for some
yeah,
people it's hard, I guess, but
yeah. I mean, there's boundaries and there's player safety. That is
yeah.
one thing,
Yeah.
but catering completely,
I think
I think
catering is the word.
I think it is. I think it is I think again we're talking about a balance. We're talking about,
Yeah.
let's see. This is the game I want to run. What are your
Mhm.
expectations?
I
And let's
think
find a middle ground.
it's the difference between two C words. It's the being considerate, having
C word,
consideration. Yeah.
cunt.
No, not that one. It's being considerate and having consideration versus catering. I think that that those two kind of
Hmm.
people think it gets all whatever, because you should be considerate at the players table, because that's we'll get to that later. That's one of my red flags, but yeah.
All right. So, Darth Oldius, he says that GMPCs are a huge one.
Ugh,
The GM wanting a PC is fine as long as the character isn't disproportionate to the party.
yeah.
But the GMPC invariably outshines the party in so many ways, and the game gets focused on them.
Yep.
As with humans in general, lack of empathy is a bad sign too.
Mm-hmm.
I agree
Yeah.
with the empathy one.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I don't know, because I wouldn't know what is the difference between a GMPC
Oh my
and a
God, John.
PC being played by the GM.
it,
What
it's
would be
it's how they play it. It's how they play
okay?
it. So, for example, I have played with a GM who had a they called it an NPC, okay? And it was
Mhm.
someone that had stats that they played as part of the team occasionally. Occasionally, sometimes they didn't. Sometimes they didn't. But like they were part of the storyline. They were not the main character. Okay. They were a
Mm.
tool or part of the story, part something that helps the players. Then I played with the GM where they literally like created an entire character sheet for their character and oh no, something went wrong. It's okay. My character ran in and saved the day with things they're not actually able to
Mm.
do, but it's okay because I just saved all of you. Like,
Mm.
it's that. It's where it's like that character then is the main character. That character is the savior. That character
Yeah.
literally is the answer to everything. That's usually the difference when people talk about
Mm.
GM PCs, is because it's the like ultimate like god mod.
Yeah.
And that's so annoying. I've had GMs play NPCs that could be quoted as a GM PC and it wasn't a problem. But usually when it's not a problem, the GMs themselves refer to them as NPCs.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, that's mm,
Okay, so next up we've
mm.
got Restless Barbarian Gaming, who says, as a player, a GM with no schedule flexibility is the first big red flag. Things happen and real life takes priority. If the GM complains about players not caring about their game, I will definitely avoid them.
That's fair. I mean, I think again, balance, like that
Yeah.
flexibility and flexibility thing. Like if you've got a character, I mean a character, Jesus, if you've got a player who's like, oh no, like the sky is cloudy, I can't make it to game at 5 minutes before game starts for 3 games in a row. That's not your GM not being flexible. That's you being a flake. Like,
But I think that's all kind of, I mean,
yeah,
we can focus it onto like tabletop role playing games. Well, that's just fucking social contract.
yeah, oh yeah.
You know, if
Again,
you
human
agree to meet
decency.
your friends
Like,
once a week for a game of football
yeah,
and you carry on canceling, at some point they're going to tell you to fuck off.
exactly. We actually
And
we don't stop our games. Like if someone can't make it, okay, well then your character's not there. Oh, that's not fair. It's totally fair. Like,
I mean, I've been a bit more lenient with Impossible Landscapes just by
mm-hmm.
virtue of
Well, that's hard.
so much can happen so
Yeah,
quickly that if you miss too much, you're going to be fucking lost.
yeah.
So we've had a player who couldn't make it a past couple of weeks, and I was immediately saying to him, "If you want us to not play and I'll run Blades in the Dark, say
Mm-hmm.
so.
Yeah,
It's not a problem. Nobody will be miffed. It'll be this is what we're doing this week."
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, just because if you would rather not miss something important, then we'll hold it. But
Right.
you know, he was all right. It was just you guys will just catch me up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Hmm. All right, what else we got? Another one from Connell.
You
We've been
everywhere, bro?
we've been double teamed by Connell,
Oh.
so it's not my birthday yet.
Oh.
Um, he says adversarial GMs. You can't beat my dungeon. You'll never figure out my plot. More of an old
Yeah.
school GM quality that's mostly died out. Then also GMs that can't say no. This is a personal thing. He's not a fan of yes and, as he
Yeah.
would prefer a no but. He
Yep.
likes a GM to maintain cohesion in the setting and story.
Mhm. Yeah. It's all about balance, man. Mm.
It is. It is all about balance. I would agree with that. I mean, adversarial GMs. I think there are systems which.
Yeah, yeah. I I
No,
think it's
no.
a I think
I
it's a
think there are systems.
generation.
No, I think it's system. I think it's
We know
there are
you think it's
systems
system. You say that every week.
in which the GM is basically the person who has to enforce the rules.
Mhm.
So I think it's a lot easier to fall
I don't think
into
that's
that
the
habit.
problem in what he's talking about because it's not about enforcing the rules. It's literally we had a GM that was like
Now, I'm not saying
wanted to
enforcing the rules. I'm
destroy the party. Like
saying
they wanted the
that
party to fail.
that
Like
putting the GM in that position can create that sense of
no, I get
us
that, but like
versus them.
but what I'm saying is like the adversarial GM that he was talking about, like, oh, you can't defeat my dungeon, is talking about like, oh, I want to break the party. I want the party to fail. And I think that's a horrible mindset to have just in general. Like, it's not the party versus the GM ever, no matter what you're playing. Like,
I think I mean, I think there is still room for that. I think there is
Well, in
room
Impossible
for
Landscapes, it kind of is because like you're trying to fuck up their heads.
no, but I think there's still, regardless of what you're playing, I
Yeah.
think there is room for that. But it has to be, this is what you're walking into. This is the
Yeah.
game that you're walking into.
Right. Yeah.
You
Like,
know, it has to be a case of like, what's that fucking D&D module like that? Just completely insane killer dungeon. I can't remember what it's
I
called.
don't know.
Where it's like, if you're playing that, yeah, let's do it. You
Yeah.
versus us, sort of thing.
Yeah. But that's, but I feel like you would know that going into that game.
But yeah, but
But then
so
again,
there,
there's people that want like a fluffy hold hands game without the. I literally saw a review of actually Bluebeard's Bride, right? This is why I almost said I wasn't going to run it at all ever, is because it's a very dark game. It has
hmm,
very triggering like themes. You have to make sure your players understand. Like, it deals with content that is not safe or comfortable for, I would say, 80% of the population,
hmm,
especially women. Um, the game is about surviving trauma, if we're
hmm,
being very blunt. Someone was talking about they didn't know how to handle a situation with their game where they're running it because the bride made a choice, and when the consequence came up, the player had a meltdown. She's like, well, I don't want that consequence. And they're like, okay, like, that's literally like the consequence of this happening. What would you prefer? And she just wanted to hand wave it like, oh, nothing happens. And it's like, do you know what game you signed up for?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
know
But
your
I mean,
games.
I think that I think that's where trigger warnings are hugely important.
Exactly. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I think having, I mean, adversarial GMs
Mhm.
are about as much of a problem as adversarial players.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like,
Because you know,
oh,
in a system where the GM is basically the rule enforcer, it
yeah.
is easy to kind of go, okay, let's try and beat this person.
I do have to say though, like, as much as the indie scene kind of irritates me sometimes because it is that like no GM, no rules, whatever, yes and which is again fine. It's just not my style of gaming. I do have to say a lot of the newer people, like the newer players, the newer GMs that are coming into the hobby, like the next generation or so, I've seen so far less min maxing and adversarial GMs of like it's me versus the players. And I feel like that's it's a hopeful sign for me. I'm hoping it's like, all right, let's just keep going that direction, y'all. Let's keep going.
I haven't seen it in anything that wasn't D&D or Pathfinder.
I've seen it in everything except D&D right now.
I,
Like,
you know, I've seen
oh
it in. I haven't seen it in Call of Cthulhu. I
yeah.
haven't seen it in any other
Oh
system
yeah.
that I've played. That is where I've enjoyed more
Yeah.
because it is. I've enjoyed the collaborative storytelling
Hmm.
aspect of it.
Oh, I think every
Whereas,
story should be collaborative. I don't know. It's like you just said, you sit down at a table for a GM to tell a story. Like that's what I want to do. If I want to tell a story, then I'll just GM it. Like, I don't know.
hmm,
We talked about that one game where you make up the rules as you play, but that would take too much time for me. I want to play the game. I don't want to
I'd be
build the game.
interested in giving that a go still.
Yeah.
All right, so that is it for our question of the week.
Yeah.
I
What's
was
your red
actually.
flag as a GM?
Hmm?
What's your
What's that?
red flag? What's your GM red flag?
Uh, my GM red flag is rolling for everything.
Oh yeah.
You know, I think there has to get to a point where the GM can just kind of go, all right, let's not have to roll for everything.
Yeah.
Normally you'll see it like towards the end of a combat, you know, and
Oh yeah.
I was on a society game once where the the combat took a left turn.
Hmm.
You know, it was meant to be we have this combat and one of the players I think got grabbed by something that took him away, whereas
Hmm.
another player kind of gave chase, and it was for the next half an hour just that player and that GM kind of going, okay, now you roll to catch up, now I roll to get away, now you
Oh
roll to catch up,
God, that's
and it was
awful.
like,
No.
why is this? You know, why is this necessary?
Yeah.
You know, because at the end of the day, one of two things is going to happen. Either the creature's going to get away, or
Mhm.
you're going to catch up and you're going to rescue the person. Why don't you
Yep.
make it one fucking dice roll? If you
Yes.
are
A
insistent
hundred
on
percent.
and having everything sort of boiled down to the minimum. Sort of, okay,
That's
you
so
move another
boring.
30 feet. It just gets fucking
It's
tedious.
so boring. That was my very first combat. I was so bad at combat the first time I GM'd. That was exactly what I did. I was like, all right, and you miss, and next one, and you miss. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh god, I should never run again. Thankfully, I
Mm.
got over that. But
All right, so that's it for our question of the week. I'm going to give you next week's question just so anybody who watches the show can get a jump on it. If
ooh.
not, I will post it on Threads and Blue Sky tomorrow. But next week's question is in a game that you've either GM'd or played, doesn't matter which, has there ever been like a small throwaway, insignificant detail that the table has latched onto to the point of having to make it a major plot point?
Yeah, that'll be good. I can't wait to hear the answers to that one. It's gonna be a good one. It'll be good. Good question.
Okay. I've got a weird message over on Twitch
Oh,
from Goro187. It's, when are you going to be honest with Atlas about how you've been plotting against them to make a new podcast that only talks about how you have hidden your phylactery somewhere, and as Atlas, they can't find it? That
what?
to me sounds bot like.
What?
That's weird. Yeah, that's fucking weird.
I'm here for it.
Okay.
That's good. That's a good
Fair
one.
enough.
Never, because that's his ultimate plan to, you know.
He is no mere bot child. I am no mere bot child of the written words. Okay, well, say hello to Goro, everyone.
Yeah. Is that Spanish for anything?
Not the way that that's written,
Okay. I was hopeful.
but your attempt to roll a perception check rolled a critical one. All right,
All
well,
right. Well,
hey,
thanks for joining.
hey,
Yeah.
I'm fucking thrilled that we've got someone over on fucking Twitch.
Right? Yeah. A little twitchy on Twitch, but
Yeah,
all right.
it doesn't happen that often, but yeah, thanks for joining us, and it is great to see you and great to field these weird fucking questions. So keep them coming.
Please. Oh my god.
All right, but unfortunately, that's about all we've got time for this evening. So, first of all, I want to thank everyone in the chat, both on YouTube and on Twitch, for joining us. It's great to see you guys. It's great to interact with you guys, and it's good to be fucking back.
Yeah.
I know I was back last week, but I fucked up, daylight savings time. And next week, I do believe we go back to the 5-hour
think you're
time
normal
difference.
finally.
I think we
Yeah.
go back to normal, so it will be 12:30 Eastern time again. But also, Atlas, thank you for joining me this evening.
Yeah.
If you want to tell people whereabouts they can find you on the old interwebs,
Yeah,
now is
Blue
the
Sky,
time.
TikTok threads, Atlas like the Titan, Ursa like the bear, whose ears are very crooked today. So yeah.
They are a bit crooked.
They
Yeah,
are a bit
they are.
crooked.
They
Like, I
were a
don't know
bit
what my
crooked.
problem is.
As for me, you can find me behind most of our social media. I'm Natural.Juan on Threads, on Blue Sky, on Mastodon. We've got a Facebook group. Feel free to come and join us there. We do have a Discord, which you are welcome to come and join. And we've got a chat for our $3 tier and above called the Traveler's Chalice, where it just gets more and more random as days go by.
Yep.
As we slowly start to lose our fucking minds.
Yes.
But as always, if you like what we do and you want to see more, give us a like, a rating, subscribe, or just even tell your friends about us. We love this community. We want to grow with it, and we want to reach as many of you as possible. And most importantly of all, thank you to everyone who's taken time out of their busy day to listen to two idiots waffle on about tabletop role-playing games. Thank you very much. Good night.
Good night. Good day. I gotta go make nachos.
Yes, it's good night for me.
Oh, I still got half a
right.
day to go. I still got half a day to go.
And ending the stream. So yeah.